What's up everybody? Welcome to the Stocks channel. Today the stock market pushed higher after the PCE data and the bulls are still in control with a very strong bull trend. Are we about to blow off the top? First up, let's take a look at the S&P 500 SPY ETF. So let's crack open this chart and see what's going on in the stock market today. All right. Today's SPY was up 0.36% and we did get the PCE data, which was right in line with expectations, and the market liked that, and we continued the bullish price action above all of the moving averages with all of the positive slopes, and we did get another daily close above 507. So it's a very easy chart to read, and as long as we continue to close above these breakout levels, there's no reason to believe we can't go higher and then eventually get that blow off top. Remember that I'm telling you we are already in the blow off top scenario. It's just a matter of how high is the blow off top going to go before we reach the top. And then typically after you reach a top in a blow off top scenario, you do get a lot of weakness. And that is why people are getting very nervous right now, because they can feel the pressure building and they know there's a very important top coming. But the problem with shorting something like that is we have no idea how long this is going to last and how high it's going to go. So one more time, I suggest don't bother shorting this bull trend until we see evidence from the price action the bull trend is weaker. Or at least if you're shorting, make sure you're managing your risk as we break out to new highs, because every time we break out to a new high is when the squeezes are going to happen, and that's when you can start losing a lot of money if you stay short. So right now that new high is going to be the break above 510, and then we go to 514 and then 520. And it's really just as simple in the short term as staying bullish above 507. And if we break below 507, we need to hold this breakout right around 501 to 502. If we lose 507 and let's call it 501, then we come down to 497 and possibly 489. And there is a good chance we do fill these gaps in the month of March, but for all we know, we're going to go much higher, and a typical blow off top would look like a parabolic vertical rally and then start come crashing back down to put in the correction. So we'll have to take this day by day. I'm not making any predictions of any timings or any exact prices or trying to be that hero that tells you exactly when the top is in. If you've been following those people trying to call tops, you know they look like absolute fools by now, because they've been trying to call tops since last year, and the market just continues to go higher anyway. So we're not trying to be one of those people that thinks they can read the future. We're following the trend and managing risk around the critical levels, and that is why we are still absolutely crushing this market, because we're unbiased price action traders, simply taking the best trades that are available with the best risk reward ratios, and not worried about trying to guess where the market's going to top or trying to worry about when the next market crash is going to be. Let those people lose their money, and we have no problem collecting it and moving the money from their accounts into ours. So stay bull while we have the bull trend and above support, and you can see we did go up on increasing volume today, and this is what you are going to see in the blow off top scenario, which I talked about in the blow off top in Bitcoin, is you are going to get these very sharp increases in volume down here, and that is eventually going to squeeze out every last bear until every bear capitulates, and that is what is going to cause the blow off top and eventually mark the top in this market. Again, we have no idea when that's going to be, and I'm not going to sit here and try to guess it. We're going to let the chart do all the talking, and right now we're still in the blow off top scenario and still in the bull trend. So as I always tell you, it is a bull trend until it's not. On the NASDAQ 100 triple Qs, we were up 0.86% today, and we had a bullish looking day above all of the moving averages. We still have the bull trend, and we got another daily close above 437, and I continue to tell you above 437, we are likely going to 442. Now, if we break through 442, there is a very good chance we go higher towards 450 and continue this blow off top scenario. So if we break above 442, it is going to be another squeeze higher towards 450. As long as we're above 437, we're still in that blow off top scenario, and if we break 437, we have support just a bit lower at 434, and you can see yesterday 434 is the support we bounced off of, and today we pivoted, so that does look like another higher low. If you go to the line chart, you can see these closing prices, and you can see that is clearly a pullback to a higher low and then another higher high breakout. So you do not want to mess around shorting markets like this. This is clearly a bull trend on increasing volume that's trying to go higher. So if you're shorting it, you're just standing in the path of a bullish freight train and you're going to get ran over. On the Dow Jones, we were up 0.09% today, and the Dow Jones has price action back above all of the moving averages yet again. They're all positively sloping, and if we get the higher high breakout above 391, we start blowing off the top to 400. If we start breaking down, we do have a gap to fill down here at 386, and we have support levels at 385 and down here right around 381. The critical support for the bull market is down here at 377. So there is a ton of support for the bulls to work with in the Dow Jones. Get a lot more bullish if we get that higher high breakout above 391 to 392, and then we should start pushing higher towards 400. On the Russell 2000 IWM ETF, we were up 0.7% today, and we got another bull breakout because intraday we did break this high back here above 205, and I do think we're very likely going to hit my price target by tomorrow or early next week, which is up here at 207. Stay bull above 196, and you can also manage risk above 199, and above 207 we get another bull breakout and we start pushing higher towards 214. We do have a gap down here just below 202, so watch that gap if we start to pull back, and that could also be a possible support zone. On the ARKK ETF, we were up 0.18% today, and after the PCE data, ARKK had a very bullish start to the day, and it did fully close that gap above 52.2, so we can delete that gap, and you can see intraday that was another higher high breakout above 52. So we had a higher high intraday in IWM and in ARKK, so the small caps look like they're getting ready to run, but we still do have this gap down here at 50, so even if we start to pull back, we'll likely fill that gap and then just continue higher towards 54 and then 57. So ARKK is still looking bullish, especially if we get that bull breakout above 52 and start to run. On the VIX, we were down 3.18% today with a bearish engulfing candle, and there's a very good chance the VIX is going to continue to crush tomorrow since it's VIX Crush Friday, and I do expect to see the VIX down here between 12.8 and 13. That should start us into the blow off top and the breakout to brand new all-time highs and start to squeeze out the remainder of the shorts. Again, with a low VIX, we have low fear, and it is a bull market, so with a low fear bull market, we're likely going higher. On Bitcoin, we're currently down 1.7%, and as I told you last night, I do believe Bitcoin is in the final stages of a blow-off top scenario, which means I do not think Bitcoin is going to a brand new all-time high at this point in time. I think this is going to end up being a retail bull trap, which you can tell by the volume. We had this sharp increase in volume, and then I expect to see us come crashing back down with very high volume selling, and that should mark the top in Bitcoin for at least a quarter, which would take us out later into the end of summer or fall. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be right, and if you are a Bitcoin bull that's worried about missing the bull run, simply stay bull above 52,000. But just keep in mind what I told you about blow off tops is you go up and then you just come right back down faster or just as fast as you went up. So it's going to happen very quickly. So as long as you're not over leveraged and you're managing risk, you should be just fine. But I do believe there's going to be great shorting opportunities in the crypto spaces. And that is definitely a lot of trades we've been taking advantage of on the Stocks Channel Discord server. Look at stocks like Mara and look at stocks like Coin, and they are going down in very large moves, which are making for very profitable short trades. And you have to ask yourself, why are they going down while Bitcoin is going up? So just be very cautious here and understand this is likely a blow off top scenario. On Nvidia stock, we were up 1.87% today, and we did get a confirmed bounce off of the rising 5 EMA. So again, there's just really nothing on the chart of Nvidia that tells us we need to start going lower. But if we cannot break above 816, it is possible we just consolidate between 740 and 800. There's nothing wrong with consolidation. It's completely healthy. So if we just chop around in this range and build out a bull flag, it could get us ready for the next push higher towards 850. So again, I don't think it's worth shorting, but do whatever you want. Just make sure you're managing your risk. And if we start breaking above 816, we're well on our way towards that next price target at 850. If we can't hold the critical support, which is the breakout at 740, then we're looking for a push lower towards 703 and 689. On Tesla stock, we were down 0.08% today, and the Bollinger Bands continue to expand. So I do think by tomorrow, we are going to finally hit my price target right there at 207. And once we hit 207, we need to talk about what the price wants to do from there, because from 207, we could get a sharp rejection and start heading back lower from a lower high, or we are going to get the bull breakout above 207 and start to squeeze out the shorts as we run into the 220s and the 230s. I don't really have a preference, and I don't really care what happens. I know we're likely going to 207, and then once we go to 207, I'll let the price action do all the talking. If you're bullish, you need to manage your risk at 197, which means if we break down below 197, it means we could come back down towards 191, and below 191, we come back down to 183. On Apple stock, we were down 0.37% today, and Apple is finally doing what I wanted to see, which is this bear trap move before the bull run. Now, it's very close to happening. We're going to likely come down towards 179 to 177. It is going to look like a confirmed head and shoulders rejection that's going much lower, and a lot of the bears are going to jump into Apple stock and try to short it, and that is when it is going to rip their faces off cleanly and start running higher towards 187 to 190. So I'm very bullish on Apple, and I know that's going to drive a lot of you nuts because you're like, how is he possibly bullish on this stock when it looks this bearish? But I have my reasons, and I do believe it's going higher after this bear trap. So if we break down below 180, you can get risk off, but once we get back above 180, you need to get right back into this stock if you want to trade it bullishly. So jumping back over to the S&P 500, nothing has changed. We've been in the blow off top scenario, we've been in the strong bull trend, and we've been continuing to push higher. So you really need to focus in on your charts and have a trade plan around managing a risk at these critical levels and simply block out all of the noise. There's tons of noise, and there's always going to be noise about people trying to say that they're geniuses and they can call tops, trying to tell you how much we're going to crash and what percentage we're going down lower. And if you look at these people's track records, they are constantly wrong, and we just get simple pullbacks and tiny corrections in this bull trend before we go higher. There were people last year saying we wouldn't even make a brand new all-time high and we were due for 20, 30, 50% crashes, and we got brand new all-time highs and ripped their faces off. So let those people be wrong. Do not let their opinions affect your trading. Focus on this price action and focus on these risk levels and set up trade plans around these critical levels, and always focusing on managing risk, because at the end of the day, as a trader, your job is to manage risk and put yourself in the highest probability chance to win that trade. This is what I teach you to do each and every day, and this is what we do on the Stocks Channel Discord server. So if you want to become a better price action trader and you want to see how I'm doing this analysis to set up trades, all you need to do is join the Stocks Channel Discord server, which you can find out how to join in the link in the description of this video. We're absolutely crushing this market, and it's going to be a very solid trading year. And this is a great year to jump in and start to learn how to trade and how to become more profitable and more consistent. So get ready for a very volatile March. I think it's going to be exciting for the bears and bulls alike, and there's going to be opportunities at every corner. You simply just need to be patient, disciplined, and prepared. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you're crushing this market. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.